Good evening, America, and welcome to New November Presents another episode of Top 5, Top 5, Top 5, Top 5. And what we're going to be bringing to you today is another very special one in honor of Dave Chappelle's show. Finally, commercial free being available on Netflix and HBO Max. We got to do one thing. We got to do one thing for the people. Ain't that right? We got to do one thing for the people. We, New November, give you the top 5 Dave Chappelle show skits. We're getting into it today. Now, these skits may not necessarily qualify as the funniest, nor the most popular, but they'll be the best thought out skits, the best storytelling, and the most influential on the culture. Comedy culture, black culture, any culture, whatever culture we're talking about, it's the culture. We're going to go ahead and say it's the most influential for the culture. Now, without further ado, I'm going to get right into it. Coming in at number 5, Season 2, Episode 12. Man, it's my man's Wayne Brady. Now, the Wayne Brady skit is iconic. I'm Wayne Brady, bitch. That joint is crazy. All right, so Dave Chappelle gets his show taken over by Wayne Brady. Wayne Brady gets a surprise from Dave Chappelle backstage. He comes on the main stage and says, "Hey, wait, I want my show back, man. I'm sick and tired of you coming out here. You trying to do my skit comedy thing. Nah, I want my show back, Wayne. Get my show back." And then they go into a skit where Wayne and Dave were having a conversation, and Wayne Brady was very I don't know if you know Wayne Brady. Wayne Brady is he's normally a mild-mannered African-American gentleman who does a lot of game show hosting these days. So he's not really a thug. You wouldn't say Wayne is a thug, but in the skit, Wayne was a straight out gangster. Wayne had hoes. Wayne was shooting at niggas for money. Wayne slipped Dave some PCP. Wayne was off the chain and is definitely worth watching. Honestly, I didn't know who Wayne Brady was. I never watched Whose Line Is It Anyway? I was born in 94. Like, what? Nah, that wasn't really my style. But when I saw him on the Chappelle show, Season 2, Episode 12, I said, okay, this is a funny motherfucker. I might need to put him on my radar. I might need to pay attention to him. And Wayne has kept his longevity since then. Coming in at number 4, the World Poker Tour of Dice, Season 2, Episode 7. For those who are wondering, we're going to keep it going like that. Season 2, Episode 7. Now, we've all played dice in high school. Let me stop. But we all played dice, high, lows, craps, here and there. You know what I mean? But what if they had a championship for that? What if it was a national ESPN live televised event? And that is what Dave Chappelle brought to us with the World Poker of Dice. He had a couple characters. Ashley Larry, that was his debut. If you ever watch a Chappelle show, there's a character named Ashley Larry who does not wear lotion. He refuses. He's allergic. He has a skin condition. He's not going to wear lotion. He's from Marcy's son. What? You also had, what was his name? Something Washington. Dave Chappelle played Leonard Washington. Yeah, Leonard Washington. Dave Chappelle played Leonard Washington, who was almost like the Clint Eastwood of shooting craps. We also had Grits and Gravy, another character named Fuck You. Asian character, Phuck, instead of, it was really clever. It was really clever and a very well thought out plot. Great storytelling. Charlie Murphy's came out the cut. Rodney Quills Jenkins, believe it was his name. He robbed that motherfucker. He shut that joint down. You know what I'm saying? He shut that motherfucker down, and it was funny. It was hilarious. It was hilarious because they had commentators, Bill Burr, and this other white gentleman. I'm sorry, I forget your name, brother. But and this other white gentleman. It was really, really a classic Chappelle show skit. I'm gonna have to ask you to go check out the World Poker Tour of Dice, Season 1, Episode 1. I believe that was, or was that Season 2? Yeah, Season 2, Episode 7. Now, getting into number 3, that is Season 1, Episode 1. So Dave was coming for your neck out the gate. And that's what I like about the Chappelle show. Dave was coming for your neck out the gate. He wanted to capture the audience out the gate. I remember watching the first episode. He said, I finally got my own show. I can do what the fuck I want. I can show you what the fuck I want. This is back when Dave really thought, got my own show. I'm going to show y'all what the fuck I want. In comes Clayton Bigsby. If you are familiar with the Chappelle Show, you more than likely know who Clayton Bigsby is. He is a African American who was born blind. He's also an orphan. So at the orphanage, he grew up in a civil rights time. They tell him that he's white. He was born a Caucasian male. When asked by the interviewer, why would you tell him that he is a Caucasian? And they said, why not? Why would I tell this only black child in this all white orphanage, weird one, that he's black? So Clayton grows up a blind, racist black dude that hates black dudes. Think Uncle Ruckus, if Uncle Ruckus was blind and really, really believed that he was a white guy. So Clayton, he ends up, it's just ridiculous because everybody else can see that he's clearly, black, but he ends up a member of the Ku Klux Klan in one of their chapters, and in one of his rallies, they say, Clayton, brother, I want to see your face. Let me see your face. He said, y'all want to see my face? Y'all want to see my face? He rips off his mask, and all hell breaks loose. It's a classic. It's a classic Chappelle Show skit. If you don't know about Clayton Bigsby, season 1, episode 1, go ahead and help yourself to that. Treat yourself to that. That's a great one. Now, number 2 is hard. I'm gonna say rest in peace, Charlie Murphy. Rest in peace to Charlie Murphy. Charlie Murphy said once that if it wasn't for Dave Chappelle, people would still be calling him Eddie Murphy's little brother. And I believe that because if you watch the Chappelle Show, you'll see that Dave Chappelle has to explain to the audience at one point who Charlie Murphy is. And actually tells him that this is Eddie Murphy's little brother. Which is crazy. Or older brother, excuse me. It was just crazy to me because how we know Charlie now is like, he's a stand-up legend in his own right, if I may. He's a genius in his own right. Charlie Murphy's been in plenty of movies. He's done plenty of stand-ups. Google yourself some Charlie Murphy in your spare time. But season 2, episodes 4 and 5, yeah, Charlie, I got you, boy. I'm gonna give you Charlie Murphy's True Hollywood Stories, man. Now, those, Rick James and Prince, come on now. I'm Rick James, bitch. Come on. You don't remember that? All right. So Charlie Murphy tells some true Hollywood stories on the Chappelle Show. When he tells these stories, he tells true encounters of him and Rick James or him and Prince. He only had 2. Wish he would have did more, man. I really wish he would have. Man, I wish the Chappelle Show would have gone longer. You feel me? But it was what it was, and it was great how we had it. In the Rick James skit, he meets Rick James in a club. Rick James is high off of whatever and gives Charlie a good old-fashioned slap to the face. Charlie doesn't like that shit. Charlie tries to fight Rick James. Shit goes left. They end up meeting back at Eddie Murphy's house. Rick James decides, I'm going to stick my feet in Eddie's couch. Fuck Eddie's couch. Fuck your couch, nigga. So he starts doing all that to Eddie's couch. Charlie's like, man, I'm not going for that shit. Tries to beat up Rick James again. Rick James gets some bodyguards. He says, hey, you take one more step, I'm kicking this motherfucker out the window. All right, look, you gotta go see that. You gotta go. Hey, cocaine is a hell of a drug, people. Cocaine is a hell of a drug. Now, when as it pertains to Prince, a bit different of a scenario. There was no fight there. Not necessarily. It was more of a sport. A duel, if you will. Okay? It was more of a duel, if you will. So Prince invites Charlie over to his house for a game of pickup basketball. Charlie Murphy dies laughing because this is the funniest shit apparently Charlie Murphy has ever heard in his life. So the guys go over to Prince's house, and Charlie explains that, yo, Prince can really ball, man. Prince can really ball, and if you don't believe him, challenge him to a game of basketball. Challenge him. That's what he said. Challenge him. Apparently Prince can really hoop niggas up, and it's interesting to hear that because from what I know about Prince is he's not a very tall individual. They say the joke is 5'11". I mean 4'11". So how he was doing all these magical how he was doing all these magical moves, it's still beyond me, Charlie. But I'm gonna take your word for it. I'm gonna take your word. Prince and the Revolution may hey man, them niggas may got skills. I don't know. But coming in at number one, my favorite. This is why it's number one, because it's my favorite and it's my show. So, coming in at number one, I'm gonna get a lot of shit for this. Season 1, episode 6, it's the Mad Real World. This is my favorite fucking Chappelle show episode ever. Favorite episode, favorite skit, period. It is fucking hilarious. So, you know the real world. You got 6 strangers living in a house. This is the way Chappelle explained it. He thinks the real world was unfair because you got 6 of the craziest white people you could find and 1 black dude. That's the way he described it. He said, so what if I got 6 of the craziest black people I could find and put them in a house with 1 white dude? Now, how would America like that? Well, I got it right here for you. And oh my God. Oh my God. They had a job at a juice place. The white dude wanted to do his job so bad. He just wanted to do the right thing so bad. And he never got the chance. Trying to introduce them to his father. He ended up getting stabbed. I think I got that in the thumbnail. He ended up getting poked up. It was just all over the place. I think he got sodomized by Tron. It was implied. And I think both of them had sex with Katie, which was the white dude's girlfriend. Katie, why? Why, Katie? Why? Man, if you have not seen any of the episodes at New November and just listened in our top 5, man, you got to go check those out. That's the Wayne Brady Season 2, Episode 12. That's that World Poker Season 2, Episode 7. That's that Clayton Bigsby Season 1, Episode 1. God, Dave, you a killer. Charlie Murphy Season 2, Episodes 4 and 5. And The Mad Real World Season 1, Episode 6. The most entertaining by far. If you have not seen these episodes, definitely go out and check them out. Again, Netflix and HBO Max. Hey, it's been another great top 5 if you ask me. I thank y'all for rocking with me. The merch is still on the way, and thanks for listening, man.